guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Pretty Little Liars, Season 4, Episode 15, Love Shack Baby. Let me say this right now, guys. I know some people complained about last week's episode, saying that, oh, it wasn't that strong of a premiere, or it wasn't that good of a premiere. And you know what, I can kind of agree with that. It wasn't like that intense or anything. It was a really good episode, but it was more of like a character-driven episode. Which is fine, because sometimes when they do really good with character-driven episodes. However, if you wanted a really intense action episode and you did not get that last week, tonight you got that. Because this episode was really crazy, really insane. I didn't know what was going to happen next, and I was a really big fan of this episode. And I definitely enjoyed this one more than last week's. I enjoyed last week's, but this one was a lot more memorable in my opinion, and a lot more happened in this one. So let's just get to this episode as a whole. It really was a crazy episode, and we're starting to, we are starting to realize a lot about certain characters, and we will get to that in a second. And let's just first start out with the episode. So as we know, last week it left off with them seeing Allison's journal that she kept, and the reason that Hannah does not want any of them to read it is because it has very, very personal thoughts in there, and very, very personal thoughts, and she's changed all their names and everything, which they said, oh, she changed their names and everything. This immediately makes them all think she's hiding something from them, and they get into this fight and everything. And she says, oh, it's fine, don't worry about a fight. So the whole episode is, what is she hiding from them? Because you knew she was hiding something from them. I didn't know what it was, so we find out later in the episode. But, they kind of get upset because Hannah does tell them that her and Caleb broke up, and the girls decide to throw her a pity party, basically, like a road trip, basically, and that's what they decide to do. They go on a road trip. Now, when I heard road trip, I'm like, oh no, this is not going to turn out well for them. And it did not. It did not turn out well for them at all, as expected, because this is Pretty Little Liars. Whenever there's something like a road trip, it's not going to end well. Because, think about it. It's not going to end well. It won't. So yeah, we have all of that going on. And, before they go on the road trip, though, there are some other things we do need to talk about. First, let's talk about Emily for a second. Because she actually, gets to see Allison. Her and Allison have a full-on conversation. And, Allison is trying to fix things between Emily and her, and she's saying how, oh, she's very happy to see Emily again, and she's the reason that she came back and everything. And I thought that was a dream at first, but it wasn't, and I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed it, but I kind of felt it was a little bit unnecessary because that was the only scene Allison was in. It was a good scene, but it was a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. So, yeah, that scene was fine. But I want to talk about Aria. Aria, at the moment right now, is kind of torn between Jake and Ezra. She really does not know which one that she likes more, Jake or Ezra. As we know, she kind of cheated on Jake last week with Ezra, and she cheated on Ezra with Jake, so she's kind of dating both of them. And she has Spencer, and Spencer basically says the real thing, that she likes Jake, but she loves Ezra, which is true. She loves Ezra and she likes Jake. So she decides to, go for Ezra, but she doesn't really tell them anything. She makes them think that she chose Jake. This still makes me think that Aria is A. There are quite a few things that Aria does in this episode that makes me think that Ezra and Aria are working together, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Then we have Spencer. Now, Spencer also is starting to find out some more things. So, the whole thing with I don't know if it was Toby's parents, but I think, no, Spencer's parents are actually getting a divorce. Spencer's parents are getting a divorce, and Spencer's kind of upset about this because she's just really upset. So they're getting a divorce, actually, and that should be interesting to see what happens there. So yeah, that was definitely a shocker when they got a divorce, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. Alright, so those things happened, but nothing compared to the awesomeness of the last 20 minutes of this episode. The last 20 minutes of this episode was better than any of the beginning of the episode. The beginning of the episode was fine, but the last 20 minutes really killed. The beginning was kind of like, okay, this is kind of boring, but then the last 20 minutes came and I was like, yes, this is really good. And I started to get really into it in those last 20 minutes. So what we see is we basically see that we're all going on that road trip and everything, and you see Hannah really upset about Caleb, leaving her and going over to Ravenswood, and they're trying to comfort her and everything, but there's more stuff going on, because as this is going on, Ezra is, for some reason, in Hannah's house. Now, he comes up with all this BS, basically, about, oh, I'm there because she's failing a course, and if she doesn't, if I don't come to her house and talk to you about it, she's gonna fail the course and everything. But this is not true. He's there for more reasons, because obviously we know he's A. I think, again, at this point, especially from this episode, we don't really need to, it's pretty much confirmed that he is A. I know someone on YouTube said, oh, he's not, you need to do some more cross-examination. There's really not much else to say about it. I think he pretty much is A for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, he is A. Sorry, someone just texted me. So yeah, oh sorry, someone's texting me about the show. Alright, so what was I saying before? So yeah, that's why Ezra's there. He's there because he's doing more stuff, and I do think that he pretty much, for the most part, is A, as I just said. So also, I forgot to say that Hannah also met this other guy, Travis, who seems like a nice guy and actually wants to help her get over Caleb. Are they going to have the same connection that Hannah and Caleb have? I don't think so. However, I think Caleb is kind of done with Hannah, because it seems like him and Miranda might start up something, but we'll get to that when we get to Ravenswood tomorrow, so yeah. So, as I was saying, they go over to this cabin, basically, and, they don't know where it is. They think it's one of their uncle's cabins, but you can tell that A is there, Ezra's there spying on them, you can just tell, and, eventually the secret comes out. And that secret that comes out, because remember they thought Hannah was hiding something from them the entire time, and that secret that does come out is that Allison convinced Hannah to, I don't know exactly what she did, but she wanted to do things to kind of seduce Aria's little brother, and Hannah actually did that. Now, Aria's perfectly okay with this, but she answers the questions so fast and everything, but that's not the thing that made me think she was A. That's not the thing. I'll get to that in a second. She answers the questions really fast, that I think that she, is A, and explained everything really fast. She probably could be A, in my opinion. Although Hannah could also be A, but I don't think Hannah's A. I think it's pretty much going to be Aria who could be A. So I definitely really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was a really big shocker, and I really enjoyed that shocker. We don't exactly know what Hannah did to Aria's brother. All we know is that Allison told Hannah to seduce him, so that's what happened. And then the other big thing that we got was that we kind of have this phone conversation between Ezra and Aria. Now, when Aria gets off the phone, though, she lies and says that she was talking to Jake. She does not say she was talking to Ezra. This makes me think right here, she is A. She's not telling them something. She's keeping something from them. She would not keep something from her friends. She is definitely working with Ezra at this point. I think that phone conversation kind of foreshadows that she is working with Ezra, and there is something that she does not want them to know. So, then we get to the real intenseness of this episode. This is when the episode got really intense. We see Ezra outside, and then we see them, Hannah and Emily are talking outside. We don't, Hannah and Emily were talking outside, and we see this, they look for the book, and the book is gone. They don't know where the book is, and, they don't know where the book is. They don't know what's going on with the book, and, that's what's happening. They don't know where the book is. But then they get this text from A. Yes, A sent them a text, and it's obviously Ezra. Although, it did not say Ezra on Aria's phone, which still makes me think she's working with A, because since Ezra is A, since we pretty much know that he is, it would probably say Ezra on her phone, but I'm thinking that she is working with Ezra, and she just does not want them to know. That's what I'm thinking. So they get the text on their phone, and it says, my plan has worked, and I'm getting closer to what I want. And they basically realize that, you know, A took the book, and also has basically, they've given Allison over to A, and A is going to keep Allison there. So now they're in a real problem right now, because they've basically just done what they did not want to do. And honestly, you guys are stupid for doing this, because they should have known that when you throw these type of gatherings, when you have this type of party, it is never going to go well for you. We've seen this on the Halloween episode. We've seen this on any type of party that they have. Anytime that they have a party, it's just like the Vampire Diaries, but even crazier on the show. Anytime they have a party, something very freaky happens, and two very freaky things happen. The book is gone, and, you know, that's the first thing. And also, yeah, so the book is gone, and then, you know, Allison is being handed over to A. Now, it looks like in the next episode, in my opinion, in the next episode, what it looks like is going to happen is that Allison is going to start to, she's going to actually be really mad at them for what they've done, and she's, you know, A's going to start, messing with Allison, so we're going to start seeing more of Allison, which I hope we do, because the whole big thing is that Allison is back. We really have not been seeing a lot of her, and I would have wanted to see more of her. That's my only complaint with this episode, but other than that, really, really great episode in my opinion. I enjoyed a lot of this episode. I thought there was a lot to take in this episode, and there's a lot of things that I definitely want to talk about. Now, the only other thing we don't know yet, that we you know, found out last week, is we did not see Mona in this episode, so we still don't know if Mona knows that Ezra is A or not. We still don't know if she knows that Ezra is A. We'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, overall, my overall thoughts on this episode, this was just a really great episode in my opinion. I thought it was a very intense episode. You know, it was a very, very crazy episode. And there was a lot going on in this episode. It really was. So definitely that was really, really crazy. And it was really crazy. So I'm definitely looking forward. Oh, also, really quick, Emily got this note from A, and it says, I want to come home, meet me at our spot, and Emily thinks it's Allison, but it's not Allison. She goes, and instead someone is watching her, so is it Ezra? We don't really know, and also, you know, I forgot to say, I'm just going to say the wrap of the episode, basically. Spencer came home and saw Toby there relaxing, so she went to comfort him, and, but again, Aria instantly forgave Hannah for the Mike incident, so I think she is A. I have this feeling that she is A, and that's what I think. That's what I think is happening. I think he is A, and, you know, I think she is A, and I think she's working with Ezra, and that's why she did not tell them that, you know, Jake called her, and it wasn't, you know, she said Jake called her, but it was Ezra. So that was definitely a really big scene. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode. I think overall, again, this was a better episode than last week. I thought it was just a really intense episode. A lot of really intense scenes. Really enjoyed a lot of the stuff on here. What's going to happen with Allison? Do you think they're going to be able to hand her over to A? Do you think that Aria and Ezra are working together? I'm really sure that they are working together. Also, why is Ezra in Hannah's bedroom? Why is he still there? Because the episode basically ended on another cliffhanger, and they're still where they, you know, they're still in that cabin, basically. So we're going to be back there next week. That's it for my review, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.